Unleashing the fury like an untamed beast, locked in a cage where strength is released. Striking precision, grappling with might, the golden octagon. The stage we ignite. Unleashing the fury like an untamed beast, locked in a cage where strength is released. Striking precision, grappling might, the golden octagon. The stage we ignite.
And we are live. Welcome to the Golden Octagon MMA Podcast with your hosts, Matt and D Rose.
And what's going on, y'all? Hope y'all enjoy the new updated intro. Spent a few minutes on that the other day. I figured it was time for a little update. Me and D Rose been in here, been together a few more times. It was due for an update. But hello and welcome to the Golden Octagon MMA Podcast. My name is Matt. D Rose is on that cyber screen, and it's the Golden Octagon MMA Podcast. If you don't know, it's been a couple weeks since we've been here. D Rose, UFC Vegas 96 happened. Couple Contender Series episodes happened. College football was, started up. NFL starts this week too.
Don't remind me. Yeah, don't remind me about college.
Yeah, just a whole lot going on. But on today's show, we're going to run through Vegas 96, I guess, kind of. I have a few things to say about UFC Vegas 96. Clean sweep on UFC Vegas 96. Not for this guy, though. You see this shiny gold strap back here. D-Rose is going to be eating 3 of the Bean Boozled this week because, that's what he gets for getting clean sweeped.
I ate this last week.
We got some UFC news and fight announcements to go over. And then we got this upcoming weekend's UFC Vegas 97 Gilbert Burns versus Sean Brady, our preview and our picks to go over. And I haven't talked to D-Rose about any bets or anything like that, but we all know when D-Rose bets it doesn't hit, just like 2 weeks ago. Podcast Play of the Week, Tabitha Ricci. It was going against D-Rose, and we win it because he obviously don't bet it. He was going Angie Hill, so we cash another one that D-Rose doesn't bet. So with that being said, that's what we have got going on in today's show. Let's get into the chat real quick. Took a beating last night on Contender Series. Looking forward to this decent card. I feel you, Tim. Same for me. I did well last week Contender Series and lost about $75 last night on this Contender Series. So, not the best. We got Austin in here. What's up, everyone? We got Daniel in here with the LFG. We got Tim with the peace sign. We got Sugar Sharp with the A. What's going on, Sugar Sharp? Nice, like the new intro. I'm glad D-Rose came home, says Sugar Ray. He's in here waiting to see D-Rose. And I'll let D-Rose catch up with you guys here in just a second. Let him tell you guys what everything's going on. We got Alex B in here with the gang. So before we get in the show, D-Rose, we were here about 2 weeks ago, and as I said, a lot of stuff has happened since we were last here. One huge thing that D-Rose has injured himself. So I'll let D-Rose open up, let the people know how you've been over the past 2 weeks or so, my guy, and how have you done betting? Are you betting any other sports? Just let me have it.
Everything's been good as it can be. It could be worse. So I could be losing a limb. It's not too crazy. As far as betting, fighting wise, of course, on the previous UFC card, unfortunately did not have any luck with that. ended up bottoming out. And then last weekend on college football, I ended up just depositing $25, turned it into about a quick 110. Lost about 20 or so this past weekend. So yeah, we're but overall glad to see football back. So I can have a little bit more variety to bet on instead of being just bound to UFC. And yeah, so I'll say that I am a very clumsy person, and I was cleaning my microwave on Sunday as we were getting ready for my oldest daughter Abby's birthday party. And as I'm doing that, we're cleaning the house. I'm cleaning the microwave. So the dish that is inside the microwave, the glass plate, I'm wiping it off, making sure everything's nice and clean. Getting a paper towel, going to dry it off. Slips out my hand, and here I am trying to use my cat-like reflexes to catch this thing as it's falling. My microwave sits right above my oven. So when this plate falls, it falls right on top of the eye and it busts. And by the time I bring my thumb down, I smashed my thumb and sliced it up pretty dang on good to where I ended up actually having to get 4 stitches here. The light's kind of getting in the way, but yeah, I really sliced myself up pretty well. But other than that, everything has been great over on my end. Just thankfully I didn't lose this thing all the way, because you don't realize, because this thing is completely immobile. I can't do anything with this right hand too much. So yeah, you don't realize how comfortable you are with certain things until you're not able to use them anymore. So definitely a lot more appreciative for my thumb that I'll have back within about the next week or so.
Yeah, so probably not going to get too many boxing lessons this week from old Sugar Hands D Rose over here. We got Sugar Ray saying try to stay awake this week. D Rose. Dave already got too many football bets.
I'm just looking at the back of my eyelids and just trying to make sure they're clean. Okay, like that's all I'm trying to do.
Yeah, Kayla Harrison got mollywopped last night. Yeah, we will talk about Contender Series last night as well. Damn, looks nasty. Hope you heal up fast. RoboCop's forehead's laughing at D Rose's little boob. Yeah, nowhere near the same thing. Nowhere near the same thing. A little bit different.
Not at all. Not at all.
So Private Hudson saying, "Get well soon, D Rose." So with that being said, yeah, me personally, over the past 3 days, I don't know. I have a really old dog. He's 12, and dude, he just keeps pissing everywhere. He just drinks all of his water and then immediately pisses. So I had to take him to the vet earlier to get some blood work, because I'm worried about him just a little bit. So hopefully Chubbs is going to be okay. Yeah, because he is getting up there. So I've just been kind of worried about my little guy over the past few days. Hoping he gets better. I don't know, that he stops pissing everywhere. I don't know, because dude, I've washed so many bed sheets, I've mopped the floor so many times. It's like I don't know what else you can do. It's like I can't do this I have to go to work, man. I can't let you outside every 20 minutes. It's getting kind of rough. But yeah, with that being said, let's run over this past weekend's UFC Vegas 96, or not this past weekend, 2 weeks ago. Jared Cannonier versus Caio Borralho. Caio Borralho basically snoozes Jared Cannonier in the 5th round, and it doesn't get stopped. I've seen fights get stopped for less in the octagon. I'll just say that. So, but Caio Borralho wins via decision after almost knocking out Jared Cannonier in the 5th round there. The one that me and you were split on, my biggest play of the week was Tabitha Ricci. And Tabitha Ricci does win a decision. I thought that was split decision, dude. And if it would have went to split decision, I would have been in a baby shark costume today on the podcast, dude. But she didn't win via split decision, so it is what it is. Ryan Lawler defeats Robert Valentine via crucifix TKO because, yeah, I don't know. He got stuck there for the most part. What can you do? Myron Santos knocks out Con Offley in the 2nd round. Michael Morales knocks out Neil Magny in the 1st round, ground and pound. Jordan Mearshart gets the round 2 submission over Edmund Shabazian. GM2 this week. I always bet. I always put $5 on Gerald Mearshart round 3 sub, just because, dude, because that's how he wins. I sent you the ticket. I always bet it, dude, and he gets the second round sub, and I'm like, shucks, like what can you do? What can you do? Prelims last week was another one that we was split on. Dennis Bazooka versus Francis Marshall. Francis Marshall gets the dub there. Zach Reese, Jose Medina, dude, I am done betting Zach Reese finishes, man. It burns me every time. Every time it burns me. And the last one me and you were split on was Slava Claus, Vyacheslav Barsho taking on the machine gun face Goku James Yan Top, where I went Slava Claus and you went Yan Top on that one. And then the last 2 fights was Cavalcante versus Josian Nunez. And what opened up the fight and pretty much stole the headlines was Wong Kong, dude, absolutely snoozing Victoria Leonardo, dude. Pretty much looked like the KO that happened last night on the Contender Series with like Unessa, don't remember her last name, but she like snoozed the chick as like a minus 1,300 favorite. She was like a plus 1,100 dog and just goes in there and freezes this chick cold, dude. So absolutely nuts. But yeah, that's my takeaway from this past weekend. Do you have anything from, or I keep saying this past weekend, but 2 weeks ago now?
Yeah, no, I mean, you pretty much hit all the points there, but just as far as like everything, Kyle Bahio looked great in the main event, just being able to kind of show up and show out. And of course, I'm like, come on, dude. Like, come on, Dave. That's dirty. That's dirty. No, I'm kidding. But no, I mean, yeah, Kyle Bahio looked great. And yeah, for him to be able to kind of walk Cannonier the way that he did, that's a feather in his cap. And I think they let it go on a little bit because Cannonier, ended up griping after the last fight, saying that they didn't give him a chance to go out on his shield. And to be fair, the fight did end with him on his feet, and he was still trying to swing and come back. So I mean, to his credit, after being knocked the way he was in that 5th round, he did end the fight on his feet. But for the most part, though, yeah, Kyle Bahio, I thought it was a clean decision there. And the Angela Hill Tabitha Ricci, I thought it was a split decision as well. But I thought Ricci did end up winning at the end of the day, so I didn't really have too much of a gripe there. Man, that Myron Santos knockout was absolutely filthy, dude. And for him to not get the bonus that night was just absolutely awful. Like, how can a knockout that's that clean not end up getting the bonus? Because I think he ended up tweeting about it afterwards and was like, "Hey, where's my where's my bonus or whatever?" It's probably whoever runs his account. I'm sure he probably doesn't even run it, but yeah, understandably so. That dude deserved he deserved the $50,000 bonus, but hopefully the UFC kind of took care of him for the kind of the backstage bonus there. Michael Morales, super impressive over Neil Magny. He completely burned me because I had a bunch of decision props for Michael Morales. Did I think he was going to win? Yes, but I thought it would at least go into the 3rd round. And yeah, he whomped Neil Magny with that spinning back elbow, got right on top of him. And dude, it's hard to finish Neil Magny, especially that early on. And yeah, Michael Morales, he's been kind of taking his time with these matchups. We've seen JDM, Shavkat, Ian Gary kind of get boosted up, but Michael Morales is right around all those guys' age. I mean, what, he's 26 or so. So yeah, he's kind of like younger, at that like perfect
24, dude.
Yeah, but yeah, he's got the experience now. He's starting to get a little bit more comfortable with everything. He's more well-rounded. So he's going to be right up there with those. Like I said, the Shavkats, JDM, Ian Gary, those types of guys. Yeah, I mean, he's going to be right up there with those guys in terms of kind of like the next wave of welterweights to come. So I'm definitely going to be excited to see what Michael Morales can do. Zach Reese, yeah, I'm not betting that dude. Like you said, he burns you every time. I didn't bet it because I knew something like that was going to happen, and which is exactly why I stayed away. Yeah, and then Yontop and Slava Claus, that was a hell of a fight. I thought that was actually a really fun fight for the most part. They were both just whomping each other with big shots. And dude, Yontop, he might not be the best fighter, but dude, that dude's got an iron chin because Slava Claus is hitting him with some bombs. And yeah, I don't even know if Yontop got even like rocked once. And he had nailed Slava Claus with some nasty body kicks as well. So yeah, that ended up being a really fun fight overall. And then like you said, Wayne Cohn. Obviously, I know everybody knew the background of her getting the win over Valentina in kickboxing. Everybody's been throwing that around, but I mean, dude, when you're getting impressive knockouts like that, it's hard for women to get clean one-punch knockouts like that. If she's that type of dangerous striker, I mean, you can put her right to the top of the division right now. I mean, she's ready. I mean, I don't know if she's going to get the Alex Pereira type of push to where, in 3 fights she's going to be fighting for the title, but I mean, I think she very well could, and potentially maybe 3 or 4 fights. If she's knocking out chicks like that, maybe they could try to throw her in there for a title fight. I would not be surprised. So, yeah, I'll definitely be excited to see where she goes as well.
I agree. Anyone else think Cavalcante's afro last night was one of those Khabib hair wig things? No, he has an impressive afro. Back in the day, D Rose had an afro that not that big, but he had an impressive afro back in the day.
Yes, I did.
Morning
and I actually ended up turning him into cornrows at one point in time, trying to be like a Snoop Dogg, because that was when trying to get cornrows is cool.
Indeed. What's going on, Benjamin? How you doing? And Alex B, say it, replying to Ben. So, yeah, with that being said, that's our recap from this past weekend. D-Rose got to eat some beans now because our 3 different fights this past weekend were Slava Claus versus Machine Gun Face, James Yontop. I had Slava Claus. D-Rose took James Yontop. Our second fight was Francis Fire Marshall versus Dennis Bazooka, where I went Francis Fire Marshall. D-Rose went Dennis Bazooka. And our last and final one was Tabitha Ricci versus Angela Overkill Hill, where I went Tabitha Ricci. D-Rose went Angie Overkill Hill. So you know what that means. It's not 1 bean. It's not 2 beans. It's a clean sweep. 3 beans for D-Rose this week. I love it.
I ate him last week though, so why am I eating him again?
You didn't eat. I didn't see you eat nothing last week. I would have been here to watch you do it, but we just decided not to do a podcast last week.
Yeah, I ate him. I ate him last week, man. Y'all don't remember?
No beans. Nope. Bad beans. Give him the booger.
I'm going to go
fish scales.
I'm going to go one at a time here.
Here we go. Give him stink bug.
Is butter popcorn or rotten egg? So really, either way, I'm a loser. Either way, I'm a loser because the butter popcorn is just as ass.
All right. Rotten egg.
And popcorn,
bro. It's butter popcorn.
Bro, it's just as bad.
I don't know, dude.
That's not a good one.
Rotten egg, though.
Dude, that's the alternative. Is a bad bean. It's either bad bean or bad bean. Like it's not like, at least with the other flavors you can say, oh yeah, toasted marshmallow or peach or pomegranate. You have a good other flavor. Butter popcorn or rotten egg. Yeah, that's awful. Like, that is absolutely awful.
He needs an egg. That's what he needs.
Oh man.
Here we go.
Band-Aid. Oh gosh. No.
Throw up. Vomit. Fish scales.
This either has a chance to be, I cannot tell. I think this is either dead fish or strawberry banana smoothie. Oh gosh.
Right.
Gosh.
Fish scales.
Oh my god.
The fish scales.
Oh gosh,
Yes. Fish scales.
dude, that one literally gets worse. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Dude, that one literally gets worse every single time. Like,
You've only had it 2 times now, right?
that it feels like that's my like third. I swear, dude.
Fish scales. Look,
Gosh.
what's wrong with D-Rose taste buds?
Pray
Matt
for
breaks
me.
the sugar coating and instantly knows that D-Rose got that active. Dude, that's why I don't understand how you're able to chew it so much. Like, dude, I bite and I'm like, I immediately know it's not good. What is it this
Not
time?
well. It's because so I'm not trying to swallow the flavor. So like even when I'm chewing it, like I'm not letting my tongue touch my teeth at all. So then like finally
You
once
have
I
to
start getting
taste
it
the
chewed up,
flavor.
yeah, but
You
what?
just
Yeah,
chew it
so
up before. You're brave.
makes it
You
worse.
are brave.
And this is either this could
That's toasted
toasted
marshmallow or
marshmallow. Yeah,
stink bug.
toasted marshmallow or a
Stink
stink
bug.
bug. Goodness
Stink bug.
gracious, dude.
Stink bug. Stink bug. Stink bug. Stink
Oh
bug.
gosh.
Stink bug. Stink bug. Stink bug. Stink bug. Dude, you chew it so many times. If it's not
No, it's marshmallow. It's marshmallow.
okay.
But I mean, it's
That one's
sweet.
not good though. That one's not
Yeah, it's just sweet. Like that's just all it is. Like that's the thing. It's like even when they're supposed to be good, they're not good. Like buttered popcorn and toasted marshmallow. Like that's not good at all. But at least that one ended up well for me because that fish almost put me under, dude. Like that's the closest I have came to barfing. Like dead ass. Like I've not.
I heard the
barfed like
second
that.
burp. I heard the second burp. I was like, oh, that one must have been
Yeah, I have
phenomenal.
dead ass not almost burped like that or threw up like that. Like, yeah, that was pretty damn close, dude. That one's awful.
D-Rose severing arteries and eating dishwater. Being gay.
Dude, I
They
don't
say
know.
you gotta swallow it, D-Rose. No,
Nah,
dude.
hell nah. We done nah, hell nah. We done did enough.
Also, D-Rose's perfect ass teeth. My dentures are molded off of D-Rose's teeth. Oh goodness, D-Rose.
I couldn't
they
have
don't
hair, so
understand
I at least gotta have teeth.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. With that being said, let's get into our UFC news and fight announcements for the week. They don't know that you had to have like braces back in the day and like all of that. Like you had to put the wax on them and all of that, dude.
Yeah, no.
Wait, was he?
No.
You
I
had
never
braces,
had
right?
braces.
Dude. Okay, then it was like Ryan Brown that had the braces. Then, like, because you guys like both had an afro like around the same time. I don't know. Let's see. Look at them.
Nah, thankfully, I never had braces. I never wanted braces.
Goodness. What's up, guys? Hope you're having a great evening. Gotta love some Wednesday night MMA. Hell yeah. Appreciate you stopping by tonight, Antoine. So let's get into the UFC news and fight announcements. Not actually a whole lot since we've been gone, D-Rose. Let me see.
Gosh. I still got that shit in my mouth, dude. Like, absolutely awful.
All right.
That's why I keep trying to drink this Gatorade, dude. But it's not helping. I swear.
All right, D-Rose. This one is our first one. This was originally scheduled for not too long ago, but then Tracy Cortez got bumped up to the main event to fight Thoroughgroves Namajunas once Macy Barber fell out of that fight. So this fight has now been rebooked for December 14th, UFC Tampa. We got Tracy Cortez versus Miranda Fear the Maverick. Immediate thoughts on this?
Yeah, no, this was, as you said, the original fight that was supposed to happen before Tracy Cortez took the Rose fight. So yeah, I still think it's a good fight. It's a good test for both fighters. And I think even in a loss, I think for Tracy Cortez, I think a lot of people came out, pretty impressed with her for the most part, and she's able to, maybe add on from that Rose performance, and we know that she has pretty good takedown defense as well. Yeah, she can do some things in this division, and we're all high on Miranda Maverick and her boxing and her wrestling, and how well she's came along. So yeah, just say should be a really good fight.
Yeah, indeed, indeed. Our next one is Mektabik Orbai going to be taking on Matus Raumbetsky. That's going to be UFC 308 October 26th, so probably over there in Abu Dhabi. But we got Mektabik. Dude, look how close his eyes are together, dude. It just I think that's why he like looks weird, because his eyes are so close together. And then yeah, Matus Raumbetsky got dude, what happened, dude? He got beat up by Diego Ferreira in his last fight, dude.
Yeah, Diego Ferreira kept using that pressure with the wrestling, and yeah, was really able to basically put it on him there. And yeah, man, poor old Mick the Big. But no, I think yeah, he's super well rounded, and yeah, as you said, Mateusz Rebecki, he had a lot of hype coming in, but just his short arms, dude. He's Jesus Aguilar of lightweight, just with his short ass arms. He's probably in contention with Jesus Aguilar for the shortest reach in UFC history. Like it's absolutely
and also
crazy.
Corey McKenna.
Yeah, there you go. Top
Corey McKenna,
three.
and also
yeah, top three
maybe Cody Garbrandt's there too, because he has some pretty short arms too.
Yeah, but I mean, at least he, I don't know. I felt like I don't know. At least he can like use his range a little bit versus, I mean, there's no range, because at least Cody's a little tall. Like Cody's probably taller than Mateusz Rebecki, which is crazy. But yeah, I think Mektabik should be able to. I think Mektabik should be able to basically wipe the floor with Rebecki.
Got a question for you, D-Rose.
No, I'm not a Chicago Bulls fan. I am a Dallas Mavericks fan. So unfortunately, they got mopped in the finals. So yeah, in NBA, I'd still follow it some, but I'll obviously MMA follow that a lot more, and then football is my favorite sport. So I've kind of sunk into those really, and I watch basketball more when the playoffs late in the regular season, kind of around that time now, more than throughout the whole regular season.
Yeah. Okay. And he said, I want to say Orbai Chase Gold. He's still so young. It says he's 26, but I think he's about 2,600. You got to add a couple of zeros to his name, because possibly a Neanderthal. Make the big definitely out there clubbing seals. Just killing the woolly mammoths, dude. We've got Brad Katona taking on Jane Matsumoto. That's going to be UFC Vegas 99 October 19th. You care about that one at all? I know.
Not a lick.
Okay. We'll move on to the next one, where we have Nikita Krylov versus Azamat Murzakanov. That's going to be added to UFC 309 November 16th. Care about that one at all? Kind of a step down for Azamat, no?
I think, dude, and it's crazy because I always think that like he's not ranked that high, but like I do think Nikita Krylov is in the. I mean, you can probably look it up and fact check me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure he's ranked in the top 15 of the light heavyweight division. And I think what Azamat's probably, if I had to guess, probably 13, 12. So they might not be right next to one another as far as the ranking, but I believe so. But in terms of name value as well, I think Nikita Krylov's a pretty big name, and kind of the top of the division.
He's ranked number 9, dude. That's wild. I guess.
So that's what I mean. I think what Azamat's about 12 or 13 or so. I think so. Yeah, that's not a. Yeah, that's not a crazy matchup to say, and I honestly think it could turn out to be a really fun fight. I think stylistically, because Nikita Krylov's a dude who could do a little bit of everything. He's got good striking, good wrestling. And Azamat, we know how nasty his boxing is, and he's got a great
Krylov's
finishing
ranked
instinct.
7 right now. And
Yeah.
Azamat's 11. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
that sounds about right.
Dude.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I don't know why Nikita Krylov is ranked so high. I feel like we haven't seen him fight in forever. So
Nikita Krylov is ranked above Khalil Roundtree.
Yep. Who's fighting for the title? Let's go. Khalil's going to be like at least like 6 by the time the fight starts. Though there's going to be a couple people who end up sliding down, just for the fact that they're going to have him ranked a little bit higher than 8 to fight for the title. But no, I think Azamat and Nikita Krylov, it should be a fun fight.
Yeah, we got Lush popping in here. Damn, boys, I'm late. It's all good, Lush. Appreciate you stopping by here tonight, my guy. We got Alex B. Welcome, Lush. I had some shrimp lo mein earlier. That was fire. Nikita is 9. They're trying to push Azamat since he's 35, but I think he's in his prime, dude. I don't know if he's 35. He's maybe 45, dude. I think so. Half these fighters are lying about their ages, man. Yeah. Up next, we have Jonathan JSP Pierce. He's going to be taking on Pat Sabatini. That's going to be UFC Vegas 98, October 12th. You care about that one? It's kind of like two fighters with the same style almost. The pressure, but I guess I would favor JSP a little bit more in that fight. He has better striking, in my opinion. What's your thoughts here?
Yeah, I would think that exactly. But other than that, I really don't care about this fight.
All right, fair enough.
I don't really care about Pat Sabatini that much. I don't know why. Like I'm just never interested in any of his fights.
Fair. I mean, he's not the most interesting fighter in the world, but we've got Mike Malott taking on Officer Trevin Giles. That's going to be UFC Edmonton, November 2nd. So back up in Canada. Yeah, what's your thoughts on Officer Trevin Giles versus Mike Malott, dude? Because this is a fight that's like Trevin Giles always wins every moment of the fight until he doesn't. As where Mike Malott is for sure a front runner. He don't have a gas tank to go all 3. So interesting fight. I'm interested to hear your thoughts on this.
Yeah, no, I think it, as you said, it's very interesting. Yeah, Mike Malott's a dude who comes out full speed ahead, and he comes up with good boxing, good power. He likes to use his wrestling, mixes up with the ground and pound very well, but. Let's see if he learned from that Neil Magny loss where he, ended up basically gassing out there in the 3rd round after the win in the first 2 rounds pretty cleanly. And there were moments where some people could have said that maybe not the fight could have been stopped, but, he could have had a 10-8 in that first round because he really put it on Magny there in the first round. And for him to all of a sudden melt away and lose the fight in the 3rd round just to due to him gassing out like that. And Trevin Giles is a guy who we know can go all 3 rounds. He's he's gone 3 rounds with a lot of tough guys. Preston Parsons is another guy I think of a guy who uses a lot of pressure in wrestling. And Trevin Giles is actually able to keep up that same pace as well. And he came as you always go back to gave Carlos Prates a really tough fight until Carlos Prates just of course eventually just lands that bomb. So. Trevin Giles is a live dog, and if he is the dog in this fight, I know who I'm betting.
Yeah, I would agree. And he's going to be the underdog, dude. It. We've got Balaji Oki taking on Chris Duncan. This is going to be a fun fight. This is UFC Paris, September 28th, so not too long away from this fight, but this should be a banger, dude.
Both dudes come in and throw haymakers, and we know the way that Chris Duncan, we've seen him obviously have some adversity and come back and win fights, and Balaji Oki is just an absolute powerhouse. So yeah, that should be a fun fight.
Indeed. We've got Ayman Zahabi taking on Pedro Munoz. Pedro Munoz didn't retire, dude. That's going to be UFC Edmonton, November 2nd, dude. How wild would it be?
Taking damage.
How wild would it be if Ayman Zahabi just comes in here and then snoozes Pedro Munoz? Because that's what he's basically been doing, knocking out these dudes that have never been knocked out. That's the only way that he wins is if he knocks them out early, and they've never been knocked out, dude. Yeah. Ariel Helwani might have a tough fight here, though. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, it looks like he's finally getting his opportunity, and the him and the UFC are kind of finally came to an agreement here and decided to call bygones bygones. But but yeah, no, that is a good point for Ames Zahabi. You know, he has been out here sleeping people that normally don't go to sleep in fights, and Pedro Munoz. We obviously know how durable he is. You know, we talk about Cheeto Vera, we talk about Pedro Munoz, guys that have never been finished at all in any of their fights. I don't know if I've ever seen Pedro Munoz really hurt, despite him taking a lot of damage in a lot of his fights. But yeah, I think this could be a really
He
good
quit
fight.
that Sean O'Malley fight. Just want to throw that out there.
Yeah.
I poke. Yeah, my ass.
I think he thought that he was gonna get the I think he thought he was gonna get the rematch. I think that's what it was. But yeah, no, that should be a very good fight for as long as it lasts.
Yeah, I agree. Who the fuck is this? Pierre Rodriguez. Oh, dude, I haven't seen her in a while, dude. And she's going to be taking on Josephine Thunder Knudsen. That's going to be UFC Tampa, December 14th, dude. Yeah, I feel sorry for Pierre Rodriguez, man.
Yeah, Josephine is she's nasty, dude. She's got some good striking, and yeah, as you said, you know, Rodriguez, we hadn't seen her in a while as well, but yeah, Josephine.
Here's why I feel
she's
bad.
Nasty, dude.
Here's why I feel bad, because it's like she has no finishing instinct, but she's like hurting these girls with like every other strike that she throws, but she's not finishing. It's so wild. She's just beating the ever loving shit out of them. And then just like, oh, you're in here with me for 15 minutes. I hope you're ready for this.
She's programmed like a robot.
Dude, it's wild. I don't understand it. She's good. We've got another fun one here, though. We've got Veronica Hardy taking on Eduardo Mora. That's going to be UFC 309, November 16th. What's your thoughts on this one? Because UFC, I feel like you've been matching Veronica Hardy up with very winnable matches. And then Eduardo Mora, we saw her not look great in her past two fights, but I think she still got the dub, though. Yeah, I like Veronica Hardy here again. I'm sure she'll probably be the dog again, and I'm going to like her footwork opposed to this big plotty girl that's just trying to get a hold of you, dude. Give me Veronica Hardy here. What's your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I think yeah, Veronica Hardy, she's looked good in her last few fights, and yeah, what is she on, like a 2-3 fight winning streak by now? So yeah, no, she's looked really, yeah, she's looked really good as of late. Fought, you know, a lot of, you know, wrestlers and people who we thought that could be a bad matchup for her. She went out there and looked well in all of her matchups. So yeah, I do like the kind of momentum she's kind of sustaining here, and as you said, I do think another winnable fight for her here.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting one though, because Eduardo Mora's she's a powerhouse, dude. Yeah, we got Jake Hadley staying up at 135, and he's going to be taking on Brady. Bam, bam, he's staying. UFC Vegas 99, October 19th. You know I'm a fan of Brady. Bam, bam, he's staying. Once he grabs you, he ain't letting go of you, D-Rose. You can hurt him. You'll probably hurt him at least once. You'll probably drop him. But, dude, he's like a dog on a bone. Once he gets you, dude, you are going to the fucking ground, dude, and you're staying there. He's taking on Jake Hadley, dude. Jake Hadley moved up from 125 in his last fight against Colin Loughran and sized up pretty well against Colin Loughran, but Colin Loughran's not the biggest 135er. Got probably the biggest head at 135, but overall not the biggest 135er. What's your thoughts on this fight?
Yeah, but honestly, I do think that Jake Hadley did look good in his last fight against Colin Loughran. But you are right, dude. His head is absolutely ginormous. You know, pot meat kettle, because I'm not one to call anybody a big head, because I am the biggest of the big heads.
D Rose couldn't get it fitted back in the day. He's like, they don't got my size.
Hell no. Bro, I gotta tell this story since you said that. Like, my dad always laughs about this to this day. Just a quick sidebar. So we were on the field trip to Washington, D.C. in 8th grade. And so we were going to this stand, and we were buying like some clothes and stuff. And so
I remember it. Yeah.
We're going into the stand, and we're buying these like a bunch of us are buying like hats and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, cool. And I think like Bianca is standing next to me, one of our friends, and he's kind of like, he's a smaller dude, just for the guys listening. And he's got like a smaller head. And she looked, and of course I said I wanted one, and he said I want a small. She said, what size for you? You need an extra large. Okay. And like she turned around and grabbed that shit. And I turned her. Yeah, didn't even let me answer. She said, "What size you need? You need an extra large." And then my dad. I looked back, and my dad like absolutely lost it. And I'm like, "Wait, like, what are you doing, dude? Like, you're not even gonna sit here and you can't sit here and defend your son. You're gonna let the Chinese lady sit here and roast me." But yeah, no, that was absolutely hilarious when it happened, and we still laugh about it to this day. So yeah, dude, I can't talk about big heads, but yeah, Colin Lawford's head is yikes.
I remember football practice back in the day. you had to get the helmet from the middle school to play the rec league.
No. So when I was in rec league, 7th grade, I didn't have to get a helmet from the middle school. I had to get a helmet from the high school because the high school was the only grade or the only grade level that they made extra large helmets. And in rec league and in middle school, I did not have a proper size head to fit any of their helmets. So I had to literally go to the varsity and get their helmets for extra large.
Jesus, D-Rose, my big head brother. I can't wear sunglasses that aren't XL frames.
Big heads unite.
Oh my goodness gracious, you guys!
Seriously.
Oh wow, I'm actually kind of tearing up a little bit just thinking about the good old days, dude. Trent Reznor ugly to death, dude. Our fucking woodshop teacher, dude.
Mr. McFarlane was the best though. He was the best.
All right, dude. Our next one, we've got Darren the Damage Elkins, and if you ever forget his name, it's written across his chest in stitches. He is going to be taking on Daniel the Pit Pineda, dude. I don't even know how to set this up, dude. Are they gonna like fucking wheel like fucking fucking Darren Elkins like out there in a fucking wheelchair or some shit, dude? It's like how at this point? How? He's already gonna be bleeding when he gets in the octagon. Like it's almost like he cuts like the old school, like the WWF days, cuts his head pre-fight so he'll bleed in the octagon. Because by 30 seconds in the fight, he's a bloody mess, dude. And he's taking on one of the most potent early finishers, probably the most potent early finisher at 145, dude. If he don't fucking finish you early, he don't win. He has a 100% finish rate, dude. Yeah, good fucking luck, Darren Elkins on October 19th. You care about this one at all, D-Rose?
Honestly, I think it should be a really fun scrap because Darren Elkins, he's a dude that I know at this point you can say it's easy to finish him, but dude, he's still hard to finish because Daniel Pineda doesn't have the best striking per se, but his grappling is really dangerous. And I think that's where Darren Elkins can make it interesting because if Daniel Pineda does try to use the takedowns in wrestling, dude, Darren Elkins got some of the best scrambles. He definitely looks like a customer, that's for sure. Yeah.
Dude, he looks like one
Yeah.
of these fucking people that I just see doing TikTok dances on the fucking side of the street with no phone.
Yeah. Yeah, he is. Dude, he
Just
is.
out there doing the Macarena to no music.
Yeah.
Just what world are you in right now, dude?
The damage, dude. That's all you can say is the damage, dude. But yeah, no, this should be a dope ass fight though.
Yeah. Hopefully, dude, he looks like one of those people in where was I at that I saw? I drove through this place in New Jersey one time, and it just a bunch of people just leaning over, dude, and they look like they're in Elkins. I felt bad, dude. All right, moving on, dude. We've got Sharabullet Magomedov taking on Armen Petrosyan, added to the Abu Dhabi card, UFC 308, October 26th. Looks like he got a new contract, dude. So it looks like they're gonna keep their beast over in the Middle East, not let them come to the U.S.
Yeah, 100%. That's a pretty good one. Yeah, that's pretty good. I like that.
To keep
Yeah,
their
'cause
one-eyed beast in the Middle East. They can't let him in the U.S.
That's hilarious. Yeah, no, because it's true, dude. Because because if that was the case, if he could come in America, he would have already came by now. But no, he's fighting in Abu Dhabi or Saudi Arabia or okay, cool. But and Dana's even said like, yeah, we're going to keep him over here, and he won't say publicly why because he doesn't want to incriminate himself. But we all know why. But in terms of just this fight in general, yeah, Armen Petrosyan, we know he's going to go out there and he can wrestle a little bit, but we know for the most part he's going to be going out here to strike. So, yeah, I think and could be a good test for Sharabullet as well. So, yeah, that should be a good fight.
Indeed. What the fuck is this, dude? We need to put this as a punishment to get this facial hair, dude. I can't stop looking at it, dude. It's got like a reverse goatee, dude. What is that? Look at that mustache.
That's clean, dude.
Dude,
That's clean.
I don't know.
You're tripping.
We got Farid Basharat.
You should rock that.
Victor taking on Victor Hugo. That's going to be UFC 308, October 26th. That's also the Abu Dhabi card. Thoughts on that one? Victor Striker Hugo. That's a grappler.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it should be a solid fight. You know, Farid Basharat. Has he did he have like a fight cancellation recently? Yeah, because I felt like we just hadn't seen him in a while. Yeah, I felt like we haven't seen him in a while. So yeah, good to see him kind of back in action here. And yeah, I think that should be a pretty solid fight.
Okay. We'll move on to the next one. I don't know how many more we got here. Probably not too much more. We've got Marcus McGee taking on Jonathan Dragon Martinez. This should be a banger of a fight. This is UFC 309, November 16th.
Yeah, and I'll say this: it could be. I don't want to say Marcus McGee might have Victor Martinez looking like how Davey Grant had him, or Jonathan Martinez how Davey Grant had him looking, but. Dude, Marcus McGee is an absolute tank. And, you know, Jonathan Martinez got hurt by Aldo in his last fight. As I said, got knocked out by Davey Grant before. And, dude, Marcus McGee can hit, dude. So, yeah, that should be a good fight. But we also know how dangerous Jonathan Martinez is with the leg kicks and stuff, too. And this is definitely Marcus McGee's toughest test to this point in his UFC career. So, yeah, I think that should be a really good fight. But I'm definitely leaning towards Marcus McGee there.
Indeed. So up next, we got the return of the Assassin Baby, D-Rose. We haven't seen him in a little bit. He took some time off, but Brandon Moreno is returning to face none other than Amir Al-Bazzi. That's going to headline UFC Edmonton like November 2nd. UFC loves giving Canada terrible main events.
And they love sending Brandon Moreno up there because I'm pretty sure they sent him up there for like random. It was like him and Sergio Pettis or something like that. And Yeah, just like random. I wouldn't be surprised. Which that fight between him and Royval was good, but I wouldn't be surprised if we go back and that ended up being on Canada for some reason. But yeah, that's a good fight. I anticipated Moreno taking a little bit more time off because when he said after the Royval fight that he really wanted to try to take some time, kind of recalculate himself and reset. That wasn't the type of break I was anticipating. Was just what. I mean, 7 months. I mean, and maybe that is enough for him, but hopefully he's well rested enough and didn't feel peer pressure in taking this fight by the UFC. But yeah, and I still do not believe that Amir Albazi beat Kai Kara France. So people were talking about him fighting for the title. He did not beat Kai in that fight. So yeah, I think they're going to try to make Amir Albazi earn it by hey, go out here and beat Moreno if you want to try to fight for the title next.
Yeah, should be a fun fight there. Should be a fun one. Who is this? We've got Nicholas Mota is out, so Ludovic Klein will now face Roosevelt Roberts, signed back to the UFC. UFC Paris, September 28th. So good to see Roosevelt Roberts back in the UFC, but a fucking terrible matchup for him to come back to. What's your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, 100% a bad matchup, man. I think if Ludovic Klein keeps it on the feet, I mean, Roosevelt Roberts, we know him to be a pretty potent striker, and he's got pretty good counter striking. Like he's got good counter boxing.
The issue is he's not going to have the power to keep Klein off of him, and that's the issue.
Well, right. Well, that and two, I think Ludovic Klein, a guy who we kind of known as a striker coming into the UFC, has developed more of his game, and he's got a pretty solid wrestling base as well. And we have seen Roosevelt Roberts have solid takedown defense at times, but a little bit more high level wrestlers can get him down and control him. So I could see Ludovic Klein maybe getting some type of submission or maybe just a decision, but I do think if he keeps it on the feet with Roosevelt Roberts, it could be anybody's fight.
Fair enough. We got a fun one here, D-Rose. We've got Kevin Borjas is out, so Edgar Chairez will now face Josh Van at UFC 306 September 14th. That is UFC No Chase, so I will be in the building for this one, or in the circle for this one, in the sphere for this one, whatever it's called. Yeah, should be a fun fight, though. I'm a fan of Josh Van. Edgar Chairez, slowly earning my fandom as well, dude. Pretty entertaining fighter. What's your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, that should be a really good fight. Edgar Chairez, he's got some really good, got some really sick submissions, and Josh Van, coming off that last fight against Charles Johnson, I think that they said that was the first time he had been finished in his career. So, yeah, and he got blasted in a fight where, honestly, I thought at that point Josh Van was starting to gain a little bit more of the momentum. And Charles Johnson snatched it from him quickly. And is Josh Van maybe taking this fight too soon, coming off of such a brutal knockout loss like that? But maybe he wants to get back on the horse and try to get back in the win column as well. So, but should be a good fight, and I think you'll probably enjoy it live.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, and also got knocked out by Charles Johnson. It's not finishing anyone, dude. Like aside from Jimmy Flick, he's not really finishing anyone. So kind of eye-opening. And this is the last one, D-Rose, and this will be this weekend. Alessandro Costa is out. So Matt Schnell will now face Cody Durden. So something to keep an eye on. Think about for our picks for this upcoming weekend. I was high on Alessandro Costa. That's my guy. Yeah. So with that being said, that's all of our fight news and announcements that me and D-Rose have. Do you have anything that I skipped over? Aside from Alex Pereira wanting to move back down to 185 to fight Jarikas, dude?
Yeah, no, I didn't have anything else, but yeah, I'm definitely interested in, you said you wanted to talk about that? Jarikas and Alex?
Yeah, because Alex is kind of saying that he wants to move back down to 185, dude. And dude, if so, he's a pro. That's just a problem, dude. It just kind of makes him even more of a fan of Alex, dude. Just such an absolute animal, just wanting to jump around all the weight classes, fight everyone, dude. And I would for sure like to see him beat Jarikas, mostly because just irritates me that he's so bad, but he's the champion. So, yeah. What's your thoughts on Alex wanting to move back down to 185 to fight Dricus?
Yeah, I just think it's I don't know. I think it's the weight cut going to be a big thing for him. You know, that's been a thing for me. I think for him I think for Alex up at 205, you know, he does look and the crazy part is, I mean, obviously he's weighing in at 205, but he still looks like it's not like he's just flubbery or anything like that. Like the dude is solid at 205. So you know, and he's kind of comfortably at that weight, and he, you know, fight day, he's getting up to like 236 or something like that. So he absolutely blows up. Is that weight cut going back down to 185? Would that affect him in a fight against Dricus, who I mean, let's face it, Dricus has got a weird, quirky, awkward style, but it works. And yeah, I think it could be an interesting fight, but yeah, it could definitely be a tough matchup for Alex, you know, making that weight cut back down to 185. But hey, I'm definitely all for it if they're going to do it. But do I think it happens? I don't. There's still a lot left to happen between Strickland, Whitaker, you know, a couple of different contenders. But yeah, let's see. But I don't think it happens like anytime soon.
All right. So with that being said, let's move in to the prediction and picks for this upcoming weekend. UFC Vegas 97, Gilbert Burns versus Sean Brady taking place. The fights will start at 4 p.m. East Coast time. The prelims will start at 4 p.m. East Coast time on Saturday. Going to be taking place at the UFC Apex, and we have 13 fights to go over. As I said, headlined by Gilbert Durinho Burns taking on Sean Brady. We've got Bata Estaca, Jessica Andrade taking on the lovely, the very, dude, she just looks like she's so nice, dude, and she just kicks the shit out of you. She is Natalia Silva. We have Kyle Nelson taking on Mean Machine Steve Garcia. We've got Danger Matt Schnell taking on Cody Durden. We've got, dude, my guy, Trevor Peak. Got my Trevor Peak shirt on here tonight. He is going to be taking on Yanal Ashmos. We've got Rong Zhu taking on Taco Chris Padilla. Shout out Taco Chris Padilla. Won me the pick champ last time he fought. We've got OSP, Vince St. Preux. The ghost of him, the shell of him, but he looked pretty good last time against Kennedy. He's going to be taking on Superman, Ryan Spann. We might have the biggest UFC favorite in history this weekend, D-Rose, as Isaac Bulgarian takes on Brandon Marotti. And then not opening the card. And then we've got Andre Lima, that's the guy that got bit, taking on Felipe Daytona or Felipe Dos Santos. He made his UFC debut against Manel Kopp on short notice. We've got Gabriel Santos taking on Yiza. We've got Jacqueline Amarim taking on the stripper Vanessa Demopoulos. She's going to win and then jump into Michael Bisping's arms after. We've got Andrei Petrovsky taking on Dylan Budka, the mindless Hulk Dylan Budka. And then opening the card, first fight of the night, we've got Zigimantas Ramaska taking on Nathaniel Fletcher, but Nathan Fletcher. Yeah, we did lose Alessandro Costa, Matt Schnell. We did lose Calvin Cater, Kyle Nelson, and we did lose Marcus McGee, Ayman Zahabi from this card. But everything else still on. So we'll start right here. First fight of the night, where we have, or let me see, there's a few comments in here. Was that you were chuckling at? Oh, the anal ass most. Yeah. Okay. I was like, what was he laughing
That's
at?
a hell of a name.
So
for
first fight of the night, we've got Zigimantas Ramaska taking on Nathan Fletcher, dude. So Zigimantas Ramaska is 9-2 overall. Out of his last 5 fights, he is 4 wins and 1 loss. Been fighting on the Contender Series over the past few months. Would have been in the final, but he had a face fracture and couldn't get cleared to fight for the fight for the semifinals to be in the finale. But he was going to be on the card 2 weeks ago against this guy, Nathaniel. I keep calling him Nathaniel Fletcher. Nathan Fletcher pulls out with staph infection, but to be honest, it looks like they both had staph infection. So we didn't break this one down the last time we were on the podcast because it didn't get added until I think like Thursday or Friday of the fight week. But anyway, Ziggy is 9-2. Nathan Fletcher 8-1. Been fighting in Cage Warriors. Both fighters out of their last 5 fights have won 4 and lost 1. Currently, odds for this fight is plus 114 for Ziggy Matas Ramaska, and Nathan Fletcher is minus 135. Your favorite. The over/under on this one, D Rose, is set at 1.5 rounds. Over 1.5 minus 145. Under 1.5 plus 114. Ziggy's 27 years old, 5'11", 71-inch reach, while Nathan Fletcher is 26 years old, 5'7", and a 70-inch reach. D Rose, I'm surprised that these odds are where they are at because, dude, I'm gonna lay it to you like this: Nathan Fletcher fought in Cage Warriors at 135. Ziggy Matas has fought up at 155 a few times. He's a big guy, and on Ultimate Fighter, you know how people tend to fight a weight class above so they can cut weight a few times. That's what Nathan Fletcher is doing. So I assume if he actually gets signed to the UFC, he'll probably fight at 135. But because this was from the Ultimate Fighter, this is at 145, dude. So give me the bigger guy coming not down immediately like from 155, but has fought up at 155 and 5'11", dude. Pretty big guy. So give me the dog here. Give me Ziggy Matas Ramaska to probably win this fight via decision. Which way are you going here, man?
I'm not gonna lie. I didn't watch the Ultimate Fighter, so I don't know much of either. But that was actually my my line of picking for this fight was that Ramaska was from what I see they have very similar skill sets in terms of striking. You can maybe even say Ramaska is the better striker, and
he's for sure the better striker. He's for sure the better striker.
The bigger dude with the longer reach. I gotta say Ramaska, man. Should be able to get the job done. So I was hoping you go Nathan Fletcher maybe, but I am with you there. I'm with you.
Nah, you're telling me that this is a heavy wrestler from Cage Warriors? Okay, cool. I don't believe it.
I know how you are about the
okay, cool. I don't believe it yet. I don't believe it, dude. The fight on Contender Series last night, Will Curry, dude. I swear to God, dude. I cannot bet on Contender Series Cage Warriors dudes ever again, dude. It's like everyone's hyping this dude up so much. This dude, Will the Dragon Curry, and like fucking last night, dude. He looked like he never took a boxing class in his fucking life, dude. It's like spinning back fist, shooting from a takedown like 6 feet away, dude. It's like you're that big and can't throw a fucking punch, dude. It was just blowing my mind. Like
he could throw a spinning back punch,
dude. Did you watch that shit? Like I was so irritated because I had a bet on fucking Will Curry, and I'm just like, I just wanted to throw my remote at the TV, dude.
That's why for Contender Series, I started back about an hour, or I'll wait for it to be on for about an hour, say an hour 15, and then I will start the fights. I will fast forward through, and like that fight was very boring. So there was definitely a couple of 60 seconds here, 90 seconds here, skipping, just trying to see if there's any interesting parts. And there was not too many for me to continuously stick around. But for the parts that I did watch, that dude was definitely annoying.
Dude, he's so big too. It's like, dude, can you just throw an overhand and just see if it lands? Like, can you just try? And just throw one out there? Yeah, dude. Tim,
what's it going to hurt?
Saying he was horrible. He was horrible, Tim. Absolutely disgusted in that shit last night, dude. So we'll move on to the next fight of the night. That is a fun fight, dude. We've got, how do I say this? I'm going to be nice, D-Rose. I'm going to be nice. Fuck it. No, I'm not. I watched live, D-Rose, live. This dude headbutt himself headbutt Jacob Malkoon's hip, dude, and then fall on the ground and act like he was on a different planet, right? Right? And
Yep.
then 10 minutes later, guess who was a row behind me sitting there with his family? Andre Petrovsky, dude. And I'm just talking so much shit like this dude is so ass. And then I guess his like family's like 2 rows behind me, dude. I'm like,
Oh,
this dude is
shit.
just so bad. So I felt kind of bad a little bit, dude, but at the same time, it's just like, hey, dude, I'm just trying to win money. You know, it is what it is. But I felt kind of bad about that. But I'm sure he got way worse online. Yeah. With that being said, Andre Petrovsky is 11-3 overall out of his last 5 fights. He has won 3, lost 2, win over Wellington Turman, win over Gerald Mearshart, split decision. I don't think he won that. Got knocked out by Michel Pereira in 10 seconds. Jacob Malkoon, ground strikes after hard collision is the is how he lost that fight. Ground strikes after hard collision. What the fuck does that mean? I'll tell you what that means. He headbutted Jacob Malkoon's hip and knocked himself out. And then
Was it a
gets
cup?
decision.
Was it at least a cup?
Dude, it was his hip, dude. It was his hip. Yeah. And then got the decision win over Josh Frem in his last fight, just because Josh Frem couldn't get up from the bottom. On the other hand, the mindless Hulk, Dylan Budka, is 7-3 overall. And out of his last 5 fights, he has won 3, lost 2. On the contender series, has a unanimous decision win over Chad Hanekom. And then, dude, I heard a story about this, that Chad Hanekom was on like a 4-day bender while in Vegas doing a whole bunch of coke and shit. Fought this fight like on the bender, and then like popped, and and now he can't fight for a long time because of all the drugs he had in his fucking system during this fight. So maybe I shouldn't look into Dylan Budka as high. Like, I was really high on him after this fight because Chad Hanekom was a legit fucking wrestler, and you know, like fucking Dylan Budka was just tossing him around, dude. But maybe he just wasn't ready. On the other hand, then he lost to Cesar Almeida 4 months ago. Was pretty much gassed out the first round trying to get Cesar down, and then got knocked out. So yeah, it is what it is. Currently odds for this fight -278 Andre Petrovsky and +225 mindless Hulk Dylan Budka. Over under on this one, D Rose, is 2.5, -175 for over 2.5. The under 2.5 is +135. Yeah, I'm going the dog again here, D Rose. Andre Petrovsky's ass, and yeah, you can't knock yourself out and expect to have anyone to have any confidence in you, dude. So dude, it's the equivalent, dude. Where did Mark Sanchez have the butt fumble at? Was it in New Jersey, or I'm sorry, New York Jets?
I think it was he was a Jet. I think it happened against New England. Yeah,
that's the equivalent. The butt fumble in MMA, dude, in New Jersey. Andre Petrovsky knocking himself out, dude. It's it just doesn't. It just all works. It just all works out, dude. And how I'm thinking about this, just the signs, the signs. Dylan Budka's only knockout win is over a dude that's name is Jet. New York Jets, the butt fumbler, Andre Petrovsky knocks himself out. Dude, give me the dog here, Dylan Budka. Let me go ahead and finish out the little stats here, though. We got Andre Petrovsky, 33 years old, 6 foot, 73-inch reach, while Dylan Budka is 24 years old, 6 foot, and a 75-inch reach. Yeah, dude, give me the +225 dog here to knock out the MMA's butt fumbler, Andre Petrovsky, dude. Probably not knock him out, I'm going to be honest. Dylan Budka should win this fight via decision. That's where I'm going. Confident? Not really, but Andre Petrovsky's not good, dude. So, yeah, this is kind of more of a fade on Andre Petrovsky just being bad. What's your thoughts on this fight, my guy?
Yeah, no, I think this fight will probably be the PBF, which was, I think it actually ended up being our PBF when we were watching Petrosky and Josh Frim in their last fight. I'm pretty sure that ended up being our PBF there as well. So, yeah, this one very much could fit that bill. Dylan Bucka in his last fight against Almeida had good wrestling there in the first round, but dude just absolutely gassed out there. Had no striking whatsoever. I can say at least I've seen Petrosky use his boxing a little bit before. Yeah, and I just don't. Dylan Bucket just hadn't given me enough to trust him with. So as much as I don't want to, I gotta say Andre Petrosky gets it done, probably by decision, and what's probably going to be the most boring fight of the night.
All right, me and D-Rose split on this one. Going to be it again, D-Rose. D-Rose going to lose the pick champ on the MMA's butt fumbler.
Not a chance, bucko.
All right. We'll move on to the next fight. That is a fun one, dude. And I'm just on the dogs this week. I don't know what it is, dude.
There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it. Add a little excitement.
Gonna be 3 dogs in a row that I'm on to start the night, dude. I don't feel good about that because I feel like it's not possible. All these dogs can't win, but it's a fist fight. Anything can happen at the end of the night, so we'll see. We got Jackie Amarim taking on the little stripper Vanessa Demopoulos. So Jacqueline Amarim is 8-1 overall out of her last 5 fights. Obviously, she has only lost 1 against Sam Hughes. And then since then, knocked out Maserat Conejo in the 3rd round, and then submission armbar Corey McKenna's little ass arms. On the other hand, Vanessa Demopoulos, 11-5, dude, could be like 5-11 if these fucking split decisions went the correct way. But in her last 5 fights, she has 4 wins, 1 loss. Split decision win over Virginia Fry. Unanimous decision win over Maria Oliveira. She had a decision loss to Karolina Kovalkiewicz. She had a decision win over Kanako Murata. And then she had a split decision win over Emily Ducote. Jackie Amarim is 29 years old, 5'3", 68-inch reach, while Vanessa Demopoulos is 35 years old, 5'2", and a 59.5-inch reach, dude. Her arms are so short, dude. 59.5. That might be the smallest reach I've seen. Yeah, dude. Here's how I look at this fight. Jacqueline Amarim is only good on the ground, and she's gonna work to get there, but she's also gonna gas. She doesn't have 3 rounds of gas. So dude, if she can't get Vanessa down, or even if she does get Vanessa down, dude, she's so active off of her back. That's how she keeps winning these bullshit split decisions, because she's on her back, but just throwing up thing bullshit arm bars, elbowing and shit, doing absolutely nothing, causing no damage. But I guess it's showing that she's more active, opposed to the girl that's just laying on top of her. So yeah, dude, I honestly suspect Vanessa Demopoulos probably wins this fight via split decision, dude. It's probably going to be a hairy one. I say Jackie probably wins like the first round and maybe the first minute of round 2. And then we see Vanessa start to take over midway through round 2 and get an easy round 3. So probably going to go to split decision. But give me the dog here, Vanessa Demopoulos, to get it done. Currently, odds for this fight, -305 Jackie Amarim, +245 Vanessa Demopoulos. Over-under on this is 2.5. Over 2.5, -215. Under 2.5, +165. But I am on the little stripper, Vanessa Demopoulos, the jump into Michael Bisping's arms after she wins on Saturday via split decision.
Yeah, that's the little stripper. That's a good name. Yeah, no, I think this could be an interesting fight. I think it could be a little bit of a scramble fest, and I think it really comes down to who can implement their game more. Just in terms of the grappling, because I do agree with you that Jacqueline Amarim, that she normally does end up gassing out as the fight goes. But I will say that she does do a good job of getting the finish, because all 8 of her wins are by finish. She has 2 knockouts and 6 submissions and her total of 8 wins. So she does always end up going for it. So I will give her credit for that. But Vanessa Demopoulos is someone that's going to be hard to finish. So I do think it's going to be tough. She's got also very good wrestling. She's got those nice judo throws to get girls down to the ground. So, but I do think that Jacqueline Amorim, I think she's just the younger, stronger fighter, and she's a little bit more well-rounded with her submission game. So I'm going to go Jacqueline Amorim here.
All right, D-Rose going against the stripper in Vegas. That's the number one rule, dude. Don't go against the strippers in Vegas, dude. You'll lose every time. You'll lose every time, dude. I'm pretty sure every time Vanessa's won, I'm pretty sure she's undefeated in Vegas, dude. You know, I'm just gonna throw that out there. It's a high hitting stat, dude. Met her a few months ago. Good to know, Steven. Good to know, man. All right, we're gonna move on. Or me and D-Rose split on this one. I'm on Demopoulos. D-Rose is on Amorim, however you say it. So we'll move on to the next one, which is Gabriel Moscatino Santos taking on Yiza. Pretty sure Yiza used to be in the UFC and he got cut though. And then oh, okay. So I guess that makes sense. Yeah, okay. So he's back. Because I was like, why do I know this dude if he's new to the UFC? So he used to be on the UFC, got cut, went to the road to UFC, and now he's on his way back now. So Moscatino, Gabriel Santos, is 10-2 overall, and probably he might be the best fighter in the UFC on an immediate 2-loss streak, dude. Lerone Murphy split decision loss, and David Onama uppercut KO, and then got shot with the Israel Adesanya arrows. In probably D-Rose's favorite celebration ever, you know.
The coldest, dude.
So out of his last 5 fights, 3 wins, 2 losses. 2 losses in the UFC, though. On the other hand, Yiza is 25-4 overall. Out of his last 5 fights, he has 4 wins and 1 loss. But I mean, all of his wins. We saw him against Young Lee a year ago on the last road to UFC, and then he went back through the road to UFC again, dude, and is now back again fighting Gabriel Santos. Currently odds for this fight, Yiza plus 215, the underdog. Gabriel Santos is minus 265, the favorite. The over-under on this one is 2.5. Over 2.5, minus 160. Under 2.5 is plus 124. Gabriel Santos, 27 years old, 5'9", 70-inch reach, while Yiza, 27 years old, 5'7", 71-inch reach. D-Rose, I am no longer picking the dog on this fight. I don't think Yiza's the best, man. He's already been cut from the UFC, didn't make it to the UFC, went through road to the UFC 2 times now. I don't really think he's a good fighter. And, I just think the Asian market needs a little bit more development. So give me Moscatino, Gabriel Santos, to probably win this fight via decision. Which way are you going here?
I think Gabriel Santos definitely needs a win. He's came in. I think a lot of people after that Lerone Murphy fight, a lot of people thought he could have won that fight. And so a lot of people had a lot of high hopes for him. And then having that knockout loss to David Onama really kind of halted the hype on him. Just because, people now want to kind of see him prove it again to prove that he's on the level that people thought that he was after that Lerone Murphy fight. And Yiza, I mean, a guy, as you said, he's kind of gone through the road to the UFC, failed on the first attempt, so now he's back to make his second wave. But he had gotten some nasty finishes along the way, and I do think that he's got a little bit of a style that could potentially give Gabriel Santos problems, especially with the submission ability as well. He's a little bit more well-rounded than Gabriel Santos, I'll say, with the striking and the wrestling. I'll take a shot on Yiza as the underdog. I mean, Gabriel Santos being from what I'm looking at on Bet ESPN at minus 275 for him to be 0-2 in the UFC. I don't know. I don't see why that's justified. So yeah, I'll take Giza here.
All right, D Rose on his first dog, or not the first dog of the night, but the first one we are split on that he has the dog on. So we'll move on to the next one, and I think I might be going back to the dog, D Rose. Yeah, here we go. So the next one we've got Andre Mascate Lima. That's the dude that got bit. Taking on Felipe Daytona or Felipe Dos Santos or Lipe Daytona, as I like to call him. Mascate and Andre Lima is 9-0 overall on this fight right here. Igor Severino. Igor got disqualified for biting Andre Lima, dude, but I went back to watch that, dude. And do you know why he fucking bit him, dude? Like, it was out of frustration.
Couldn't get him down?
Dude, it was out of frustration.
Yeah, they couldn't get him down, right?
Dude, Andre Lima like grabbed the cage like 6 times. Like, and he kept stopping him from fucking taking him down. So I mean, it's not your immediate what your thought should be in the fight, but I guess his thought was like, hey, if this guy's fucking cheating, I'm gonna cheat too. And then he fucking bit him. So Andre Lima is a fucking cheater, dude. Yeah, he's a fucking cheater, dude. Andre Lima is a cheater. He will grab shorts. He will grab cage. He will grab gloves. And dude, when I watch him, I just don't think he's that. He just doesn't wow me anywhere, dude. It's just like he's just doing just enough. I don't know. Currently odds for this fight, Felipe Dos Santos is, Andre Lima minus 180, your favorite. Felipe Dos Santos plus 150, the dog. The over-under on this one is 2.5. Over 2.5, minus 245. Under 2.5, plus 185. Andre Lima, 25 years old, 5'7", 67-inch reach, while Felipe Dos Santos, 8-1 out of his last 5. 8-1. 5-1 out of his last 5. Only loss was to Manel Kopp. He is 23 years old, 5'7", and a 70-inch reach. Dude, give me the kid that I've seen fight higher competition, look better, trains with Shoot the Box, Diego Lima, Charles Oliveira, got the blonde hair, dude. Give me the dog, Lipe Daytona, to come in here and upset the absolute cheater that is Andre Lima. What's your thoughts on this fight, man?
Yeah, no, I think this is actually really good matchmaking, and I know the betting lines are very close right now, and I can kind of understand why.
Fence grabber.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and this fight is hard to call. I mean, Felipe Dos Santos, I know what he ended up having that wasn't a split decision with Victor Altamirano. He does play with fire a little bit, where the Brazilian guys, the shoot the box guys, they're so trustworthy in their jiu-jitsu that even if somebody's going for a takedown, they're willing to give up that position because, hey, I'm going to get me an armbar, or I'm going to get me a triangle, or and they trust their jiu-jitsu so much that they'll go to the ground and end up going for submission over position, to where I think that's where Andre Lima could potentially take advantage of Felipe Dos Santos here, especially with Felipe being so young, 23 years old. He's got good power in his hands. Now, if it comes down to just a striking battle, Felipe Dos Santos, no doubt in my mind, I think he's proven to be the more potent striker, but I think Andre Lima is going to end up using a lot of his wrestling here to not even worry about going for the striking. And I think Felipe Dos Santos invites him down in the guard and basically ends up getting controlled for 3 rounds. And I think Andre Lima gets the win by decision.
All right, fair enough. Me and D-Rose split again. 4th time of the night that me and D-Rose are split. So it should be a fun one. Dave asking,
pretty loaded pick champ.
Still watching Turn versus Lima. I don't know, Dave. I don't know, man. So we'll move on to the next one. And D-Rose,
it's for a film study, though. It's for a film study.
Yeah. It's for a film study. This next one, dude, I will break it down, and I'm going to run and grab something to drink real quick. We've got Isaac Bulgarian, the Midwest Chopper, taking on Brandon Marotti, the kid, Brandon Marotti. Yeah, Isaac Bulgarian, I feel like he should have won his last fight against C-Rod, but he didn't. It is what it is. He is 6-1 overall. Brandon Marotti is 8-2, trains out of the New England Cartel, and we saw him 10 months ago get absolutely obliterated by Terrence McKinney. So looks like he's going to be moving down a weight class and going to be fighting a guy that's also going to absolutely obliterate him. There's no need to go over the measurables because it doesn't matter, D-Rose. Isaac Bulgarian minus 1,800, your favorite right now. Brandon Marotte is plus 1,000 right now. The over under on this one is 1.5. The over 1.5 is plus 260. The under 1.5 is minus 360, D-Rose. So I'm going to pass this to you. I'm going to let you break it down real quick. I'm sure my thoughts will be the exact same as your thoughts. Isaac Bulgarian going to win. Don't bet it, though, because what can you even bet here? You know, like if you bet Isaac Bulgarian round one, what is it going to be? Like fucking minus 300? Like it's not even worth it. I'm going to run and grab something to drink real quick, D-Rose. I'll be back.
Yeah, the only thing that you could potentially bet for this fight would be like a decision prop or something like that. Like there's just no value when it comes to those types of, especially. I mean, like I'm on the ESPN app right now when I'm looking at some of these stats. Like, dude, like the ESPN app has him at minus 3,000. Like, where on God's green earth did we get where Isaac Bulgarian? What has he had? 2 fights in the UFC. Yeah, he's had 2 fights in the UFC. He's 1 win, 1 loss, and he's a minus. I think right now on FanDuel he's minus 2,200. But yeah, it just doesn't make sense in my mind. So there's no reason for me to think about betting this fight because again, no value for me. Finish or whatever. I think the only thing that you can maybe get a little bit of juice out of is a decision prop. And I don't see this thing going to the first round. Yeah, exactly. I don't. Yeah, y'all know I love to seek me out some decisions when I can, or I'll call something a decision if I'm not too sure on it. But yeah, I'm pretty sure this one ain't going the distance. Yeah, we'll go with Isaac Bulgarian here.
Yeah. Tim saying take the over 1.5. Oh, I don't know, Tim. I don't know, man. A lot of beans.
For value.
D-Rose looking like he's entering the championship rounds. Sleepy D-Rose rubbing the eyes. Look, hang in there, champ. Dude.
Yo, the championship rounds is hilarious. Yeah. Yeah.
Shout out to him for the $10 donation. Yeah, I'm guessing me and you both on Isaac Bulgarian round 1.
Yeah. I mean, finish either way. First round, second round, whichever. But yeah, he definitely gets a finish for sure.
All right. So we'll move on to the next one. And I know you got to be so excited for this fight, dude. Like every time that we get the chance to talk about the legend that is Ovince St. Preux, dude. And dude, we've I got you, Tim. That makes a lot more sense. The over 1.5 in the Lima fight opposed to the Bulgarian fight. I was like, oh no. Yeah, so this next fight, Ovince St. Preux taking on Superman Ryan Spann, dude. And do you remember the joke we used to make way back in the first, when we very first kind of started doing the podcast about how big OSP's ass was, how he probably had like the biggest ass in the it was like Parker Porter OSP who has a bigger ass, dude.
I remember that was definitely one of your punchlines. No, that was one of your favorite punchlines to pull out there was the OSP ass thing. That was one of your favorite
OS
punchlines.
cheeks. OS cheeks, that's what he is. Yeah. OSP just likes to wear those tight shorts and just come in there with those just lumps just out, man.
Whoa.
It just looks weird. Like, what can you do? They're so noticeable. You can't help but to
His
notice.
lovely,
Anyway.
his lumps, his lovely lady humps.
I'm glad you got where I was coming from with that, D-Rose. All right. We got OSP is I think I'm going to be taking on Superman Ryan Spann this weekend. OSP, 27 years old. Not 27 years. What am I doing, dude? He's far from 27 years old.
Definitely not.
OSP is
Definitely not.
is 27-17. Out of his last 5 fights, he has lost 3 and won 2. He beat Shogun Rua via split decision, and God, that was a terrible fight. And then, dude, it looked like he was on some juice in his last fight against Kennedy, or just Kennedy decided not to show up. As our Superman Ryan Spann, 21-10 overall out of his last 5 fights. He is also 1-2 and lost 3. He beat Iwan Kutalaba via submission, dork. Knocked out Dominic Reyes, upsetting. And then lost to Nikita Krylov via triangle. Lost a split decision to Anthony Smith, and then got knocked out by Russian Anthony Smith 4 months ago. So not the best. OSP, 41 years old, 6'3", 80-inch reach, while Ryan Spann is 33 years old, 6'5", and a 79-inch reach. Currently, odds for this fight are where is it at?
Hey, I don't mean to dude, is this fight still happening?
That's what I'm saying, dude. I don't see odds for this.
Because I'm looking on because I don't see it on the ESPN app, and when I look at it on Google actually says that it's canceled. I think there's a very good chance that the fight might not be happening.
Well, if this fight happens, dude, I guess give me Ryan Spann, dude, but I'm not going to be betting this fight, dude.
Yeah, I'd say OSP just for shits and giggles, just because I never pick Ryan Spann and I never will pick Ryan Spann. But yeah, we'll go. I have picked him before, but the last time I picked him was Nikita Krylov. But yeah, no chance here. Yeah, man, I don't think the fight's happening.
Yeah, well,
I don't think it's happening. I don't see it anywhere. But if it happens, I really don't care either because it's really not a good fight.
Yeah, I can think of about 14 other things I would rather do than watch an OSP fight.
I mean, FanDuel still has it on there. Minus 350 Ryan Spann, plus 255 OSP. I mean,
yeah.
I guess maybe it could still be happening, but I don't know.
Wait, so are you going to go OSP if the fight happens?
Yeah, but I'm not. That's no pick champ. That's no pick champ pick.
Well,
yeah, for sure.
It is.
To hell it is. to hell
it is. It is.
I got the choice.
All right. So up next, I'm still sharing. Nice. Up next, we do have another guy that was in the UFC. Came to the road to UFC and is now back again, dude. We got Rong Zhu taking on Taco Crispadilla. Shout out Taco Crispadilla. Won me pick champ last time. He fought against Machine Gun Face, James Yantop. Anyway, Rong Zhu have 4 wins one off UAE Warriors, and then 3 wins off road to UFC. Taco Crispadilla choked out James Yantop 4 months ago in his UFC debut. Currently, odds for this fight are minus 258 for Rong Zhu, plus 210 for Taco Crispadilla. Over 1.5, minus 195. The under 1.5, plus 150, dude. Maybe this is one that I don't understand odds at all, dude. I know Rong Zhu and most of the people that come out of the Asian market have no wrestling and no grappling defense, dude. So I suspect this to look a lot like Taco Crispadilla's last fight against James Yantop, dude. Give me Taco Crispadilla to find the back of Rong Zhu and maybe end up choking him out. But if not, ride out the decision all 3 rounds. Give me Taco Crispadilla here. Which way you going, D-Rose?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not super confident on either one of these. I'm not gonna lie because I'm pretty sure I picked against Taco in
Yep,
his last fight,
you picked the
and
machine gun face.
yeah, I
Haman's on
picked
top.
Yon Top again, and yeah, he wiped through Yon Top pretty quickly. So don't want to go against him again here. So I'm just going to not go against him here. Let's go. I just ended up losing my screen, so I lost exactly where I was at. But we're back now, and yeah, I'm going Chris Padilla here.
D Rose also on the dog. Taco Chris Padilla. I like it. Tim saying, did MMA originate in Asia? Yeah, but that good old American wrestling, you know where that originated at. Yeah,
Canada.
so Canada. Yeah, so me and D Rose both on Taco Chris Padilla in that fight. So let's move on. Are we on the main event yet? I mean, are we on the main card yet? I'm not sure.
Yeah,
But here we go.
We are.
Go. We got a fun fight. My guy, Trevor Peek. Hell yeah, brother. I don't care what you say. If you are not entertained by a Trevor Peek fight, then you are not a fight fan, dude. It may not be pretty. It may not be clean. It may not be technical. But what it is fun as shit to watch. And I love me some Trevor Peek. Trevor Peek, 9-2 overall. Yanal Red Fox Ashmos, 7-1 overall. Trevor Peek, out of his last 5 fights, 3 wins, 2 losses. Contender Series knockout over Malik Lewis. He knocked out the Ghost Pepper. He did lose to Chepe Mariscal in A. Dude, that fight was a fucking war now that I look back at it, dude. Chepe was eating shots. Trevor was eating shots. Lots of takedowns both ways, dude. It was a fun fight. He did beat Muhammad Yahya via decision in Abu Dhabi 10 months ago, and then lost to Charlie Campbell via unanimous decision 4 months ago in another fucking banger, dude. Trevor Peek's got a fucking chin on him, man, and I love just watching him throw, dude. On the other hand, Yanal Ashmos, 7-1 overall, has had 2 UFC fights at a knockout over Sam Patterson, and then a loss to Chris Duncan unanimous decision. Currently, odds for this fight are Trevor Peek -130, Yanal Ashmos +110. Over under on this one is 2.5. Over 2.5 -154. The under 2.5 is +120. A play that I will be having on this fight, or a parlay piece for this fight, will be over 1.5 D Rose at -280. I'll be parlaying that up. I just now saw that. But yeah, we got Trevor Peek as currently your favorite at a -130. From Chattanooga, Tennessee. Stand up, Chattanooga, Tennessee. You got yourself a fantastic fighter here, a fine young man, 29 years old, 5'9", and a 70-inch reach. And Ashmos is 29 years old, 5'9", and a 68-inch reach. Do I need to tell you that I'm picking Trevor Peek here? But if you need any more reassurance, check out your boy with Trevor Peek. Saw him when I went to UFC Nashville. Yeah. Just a cool fucking guy. Let me tell you what. Shout out Trevor Peek. Yeah. And yeah, every time Trevor Peek fights, how I expect his fight to go is, let me take this off the screen for just a second. The last thing that Ashmos is going to see is this. Yeah, just out. just a Trevor Peek hammer fist followed by just blackness. So give me Trevor Peek. Give me Trevor Peek by knockout, baby. Realistically, give me Trevor Peek to win this fight via decision. Because now Ashmos is pretty tough as well. Yeah. Give me Trevor Peek though, D Rose. Which way going here, man?
I know Trevor Peek is your guy. I know he's shouted, I know he's commented on some of the videos before, basically shouting you out for shouting him out. dude is a super fun fighter, and I've told you really that fight with him and Chepe, that's what really made me a fan of Chepe, because I was like, dude, Chepe's eating punches and standing back there and throwing back with him, and Chepe was fighting up a weight class, so Trevor Peek definitely puts himself out there on the line every single time, just absolutely going for it. Man, I'm not gonna lie, I think besides I picked him in the Chepe fight. But yeah, like Charlie Campbell fight, I couldn't pick him in that fight. The Ashmos fight, yeah, I think the same thing, man. I think Ashmos is just I'm gonna say a little bit of a cleaner striker between the two. Now I do think Trevor Peek is probably going to be the more physically stronger guy. So if he does try to end the tournament into a little bit of wrestling, I do think that Trevor Peek could make it interesting. But I do think that, Ashmos gets a decision here, because Trevor Peek is just too damn tough to be finished. No way you're finishing that dude. But yeah, I think Ashmos gets it done.
All right, me and Dero split once again. This time you're on the dog. I'm on the favorite. Let's see. When I saw Peek on the card, I got excited because of Matt. I love me. So Trevor Peek, baby. Peek Nation wanted, dead or alive, $100,000. What does it say? Wanted. He is armed and very dangerous. Peek Nation, stand up, baby. Let's go, Trevor Peek.
Well, you can probably make some. You can probably make some money this weekend if you show up in Vegas with that wanted shirt.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, let's move on. Next fight, we've got Danger, Matt Schnell taking on no longer Alessandro Costa, Cody Durden, and this fight is now at 135 pounds, I believe. It says flyweight D-Rose, but I'm pretty sure this is going to be taking place at 135, because I don't see Cody Durden making weight 125 by in 3 days, because the fight just got changed, I think, last night. So yeah, I suspect this to take place at 135. With that being said, I don't have any odds for this fight, so you might have to help me out with the odds. But Danger, Matt Schnell, 16-8 overall. Out of his last 5 fights, he has won one of them against Sumu Darji, where he got knocked out 6 times in that fight and somehow won. Everything else, he's just, let's just be honest, he's getting his ass kicked. And then Chris Tione wants to make fun of him after getting knocked out 6 months ago. It's like, hey, I don't know what was harder, him hitting you or you hitting the ground. Keep your head up, kid. Like, fucking Chris Tione, what a dickhead. Anyway, Matt Schnell's
by the way, they have FanDuel has actually not updated the betting odds yet. They still have Alessandro Costa at a minus 530 favorite against Matt Schnell at a plus 360.
Yeah. So as I said, this fight just got switched around last night. So I suspect odds will be a little bit. Or here we go. Yeah. So here we go. Cody Durden, 16-6 overall. Out of his last 5, won 3, lost 2. Decision win over Carlos Mota. Decision win over Charles Johnson. Decision win over Jake Hadley. Lost to Tagir Ulanbekov via rear naked choke. And the first time that I picked him, and then I picked him again, and he lost to Bruno Silva, dude. It's like every time I pick Cody Durden, he fucking loses. And every time I pick again, I'm burping, dude. Excuse me. And every time I pick against them, he fucking wins. So I don't know, dude. According to Tapology, odds for this, minus 305 for Cody Durden, plus 240 for Matt Schnell. Matt Schnell, 34 years old, 5'8", 70-inch reach. Cody Durden, 33, 5'7", 67-inch reach. I guess give me Cody Durden to win this fight via decision, dude. But, dude, Matt Schnell's chin is so bad. Do I think Cody Durden could knock out Matt Schnell? Probably, man. It wouldn't surprise me one single bit. But Cody Durden should win this fight, man. Which way are you going here?
Yeah, I'm not even going to poke bones about it. I mean, I thought Cody Durden, even in a loss against Bruno Silva, looked really good. And I thought that he had multiple opportunities in that fight where he could have finished Bruno Silva. Like, he hurt Bruno Silva multiple times in that fight. That fight, we could go back at the end of the year and kind of review. But that fight could be up for fight of the year just because the momentum swings they had back and forth. And I think even in a loss, Cody Durden kind of showed some improvements to me to let me know that Matt Schnell, he's definitely going to go out here and knock out Matt Schnell for sure. I don't know if it's first round, maybe round 1, 2, but yeah, I definitely think Cody Durden gets a knockout here.
All right, I'll be interested to see where odds open up on props for Cody Durden knockout. Because as you said, dude, I don't hate it. And Matt Schnell's chin is just dog shit. It just is what it is. He's just going to get knocked out. It just is what it is. Yeah. Move on to the next fight, which is the monster Kyle Nelson taking on Mean Machine Steve Garcia. Kyle Nelson, out of his last 5 fights, he has won 3, 1 loss. And he has won 3 fights, lost 1 fight, and has a draw against Doo-Ho Choi. Should have been another loss, but point deduction got taken away from Doo-Ho Choi for a headbutt that wasn't a headbutt, but it is what it is. Mean Machine Steve Garcia, on the other hand, is 16-5 out of his last 5 fights, lost 1 and won 4. Knockout over Chase Hooper, knockout over Charlene Northern Becky, knockout over Melk Costa, and knockout over Sungwoo Choi a month and 2 weeks ago. Currently odds for this fight, minus 185, Steve Garcia, plus 154 for Kyle Nelson. The over-under on this is 1.5. The over 1.5, plus 135. The under 1.5, minus 175. Kyle Nelson, 33 years old, 5'11", and 71-inch reach, while Steve Garcia, 32 years old, 6 foot and a 73-inch reach. I guess off the top of my head, D-Rose, I would think Kyle Nelson would be the longer, taller guy of the two here, but apparently not. And I just keep forgetting that Steve Garcia is fighting down at 145 now. So he is a lot bigger down at 145 than he is up at 155. So, yeah, dude, Mean Machine be on this fucking roll, and I don't like Kyle Nelson. Don't think he's the best fighter in the world. He does keep burning me, but, yeah, I'm not going to pick him here again. Give me Mean Machine Steve Garcia to knock out Kyle Nelson in the first round, baby, because that's how Steve Garcia wins his fights. Mean Machine round 1 knockout. What about you, D-Rose?
Yeah, no, Mean Machine, he's super fun to watch, and, dude, he's been smoking fools in his last few fights. I mean, Sungwoo Choi, I think we all kind of expected that, but yeah, I still always go back to that Chase Hooper one, man. Just watching him just knock Chase Hooper around. I mean, honestly, I think that ass whooping that Chase Hooper took actually really made him like a better fighter overall, because we've seen Chase Hooper made some phenomenal improvements since then. And that shot on Nerda Becky, that body shot that Steven Garcia threw, I mean, it was absolutely nasty the way he set it up. Had Nerda Becky pinned up against the fence and just absolutely landed that crushing hook to the body. Yeah, I think Steven Garcia, he's been coming out like a ball, like a hot ball of fire, dude. And I think he does the same thing in this fight. Kyle Nelson, he's been holding his ground a lot, man, and I've been picking against Kyle Nelson in a lot of his fights, and he ends up coming out and he's been impressed me, man. So, got the win against Padilla when I thought that Padilla was going to get the job done, and I thought Bill Algeo was going to get the job done. So, Kyle Allen is no pushover. Man, I do think Steve Garcia does get the finish, but I think maybe like a late finish. I think it ends up being a little bit more back and forth. And I say Steve Garcia lands a big shot late and gets Kyle Nelson out of there in a potential fight of the night.
All right, so me and D-Rose both on Steve Garcia. I think he knocks out. Kyle Nelson early. D-Rose thinking a little bit later, but it's okay. Me and D-Rose both on Mean Machine Steve Garcia, though. We'll move on to the co-main event of the evening in a very fun fight. We have Bata Estaca, Jessica Andrade, taking on the sweetheart that is Natalia Silva, dude. Bata Estaca, Jessica Andrade, 26-12 overall out of her last 5 fights. She has lost 3 and won 2. Lost to Aaron Blanchfield, rear naked choke. Lost to Yan Jianan, and she got smoked against Yan Jianan, dude. Submission against Tatiana Suarez, loss. Knocked out Mackenzie Dern, and then a split decision win over Marina Rodriguez 4 months ago. Natalia Silva, on the other hand, 17-5 and won all 5 of her last 5. Unanimous decision win over Jazz Davicius. Spinning back kick that was a body kick, but ended up going to the face and knocking out Teresa Bleda. knocked out Victoria Leonardo, but we saw her get knocked out against Wong Kong 2 weeks ago. Unanimous decision win over Andrea Lee, and Vivi Araujo unanimous decision win. Currently, odds for this fight, D-Rose, plus 250 for Bacha Estaca, Jessica Andrade, minus 310 for Natalia Silva. The over-under is set at 2.5. The over 2.5, minus 175. The under 2.5, plus 130. I don't hate that over 2.5 there. Jessica Andrade, 32 years old, 5'1", 72-inch reach, while Natalia Silva is 27 years old, 5'4", and a 65-inch reach. And this is at flyweight. Okay, so down at 115. Interesting. Very interesting.
Natalia Silva's always been 125 though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Andrade is the one that can't make up.
Yeah, so this is I said I said 115. So this is at 125, and Andrade moving back up to 125. Yeah. Yeah, man. You know I love Jessica Andrade, but I think the footwork for Natalia Silva is an absolute beauty, dude. And I don't think Jessica Andrade is even going to have a chance to even get in on Natalia Silva to wing one of those hooks on her. So give me a easy 30-27 win for Natalia Silva via decision. Which way are you going here, man?
Yeah, I think I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. I think, basically the same thing. I think Natalia Silva's kicks are absolutely dangerous. I think her range control is very good, and she uses her kicks to control the distance as well. And Andrade, we know how much of a pit bull she is, tries to get in range and throw those big hooks, but man, a lot of times if she's not able to really close that distance, she does tend to struggle, and she does struggle with that a lot more up at 125 with the bigger, more athletic girls. And I was going to say, and you're talking about the younger athlete too, and Natalia Silva as well. So yeah, I think Natalia Silva gets it done.
Like you see, like Andrade leap with the hooks a whole lot, and it's like you can't be jumping in with a hook like that against Natalia Silva. You're going to get teeped to the body. You're going to get head kicked. She ain't going to be there, first of all. So, yeah, I just think this is a very, very, I don't want to say easy fight, but very, very winnable fight for Natalia Silva, as the odds do imply, dude. She's minus 310. So, yeah. We got Love Natalia Silva midnight card. Yeah, she's got some pretty nice cards. So we'll move on to the main event of the evening. If you guys haven't already, please hit a thumbs up button for your boys. Yeah, let's get into it, dude. Sean Brady versus Durinho Gilbert Burns. Durinho Gilbert Burns, 22-7 overall out of his last 5 fights. He has lost 3 and won 2. A loss over Hamzat, or a loss against Hamzat, a win over Neil Magny, arm triangle, a win against Jorge Masvidal all year. Dude, Jorge's only been out of the UFC for a year now. I feel like he's been out of the UFC forever, dude. That's so crazy.
It was on that Miami card last year.
Yeah. Lost to Bilal Muhammad, and then lost to Jack Della. And, dude, he did not look good in that fight, man. He didn't. I don't know, dude.
Hey,
Sean Brady, on the other hand,
you can say that though, but Gilbert Burns was actually up on 2 of the judges' scorecards, 2 rounds of nothing going into that last round. And had he just hung on, he would have won that fight, even though he didn't look that great.
Yeah, one of those. We don't know those judges' names because it didn't get there, but one of them had to be Howie Booth, dude. There's no way Gilbert was winning both those fucking rounds, dude. Get the fuck out of here.
I said the same thing as someone who had bet JDM in that fight, but yeah, no, yeah, honest truth, he was up 2 rounds going into that third.
Howie Booth, Jacob Booth were the judges, like 2 brothers. They're sharing one eye. They're holding it like the fucking thing from like Real Monsters. Yeah, Sean Brady 16-1 overall. His only loss ever is to Bilal Muhammad. 5 wins. Submission win over Christian Aguilar. Submission over Jake Matthews. Decision over Mike Chiesa, which is odd. And then a Kelvin Gastelum submission win 9 months ago. Currently, odds for this fight plus 154 for Gilbert Burns, minus 185 for Sean Brady. The over under is 4.5. The over 4.5 minus 130, under 4.5 plus 100. Gilbert Burns, 38 years old, 5'10", 71-inch reach. Sean Brady, 31 years old, 5'10", 72.5-inch reach. Yeah, D Rose, I think we have probably seen the best of Gilbert Burns. To be honest, I think that as I kind of said there, I don't think that Gilbert looked too good against the Jack Della fight. I think he's always, had gas, but he looks like he kind of gassed out against Jack, and I don't like that. And no one really tries to wrestle Gilbert Burns because he's this grappling ace, but he don't have any subs at 170. Really, who sub Neil Magny, and that's it, dude. Like that's the only sub he has up at 170. I just think Sean Brady is big, strong, and he's going to do what he wants with Gilbert Burns. I think it probably looks something like the Kelvin Gastelum fight, to be honest. So, yeah, give me Sean Brady here. Give me Sean Brady to probably win this fight via decision, though. Which way are you going here, D-Rose?
Yeah, I think it's a super tough matchup for both guys, really. And yeah, I think Gilbert Burns, getting a little bit older now, 37 years old, has always fought the best of the best. And he's done that since he's been in the UFC to now. You go and look at his resume of fighters that he's fought, and he's fought the absolute best of the best, man. The dude always says yes to anybody, and he's always on the hunt trying to get back that title, man. So kudos to him for taking the fight against a guy like Sean Brady. But I do think Sean Brady's a tough matchup for him, man. I think Sean Brady, he's got good power. Bilal Muhammad, you could say, potentially exposed him maybe for a cardio issue, but Bilal Muhammad, as we're kind of seeing, he does fight a little bit different versus how everybody else fights. He really uses that pace and pressure for an advantage, where I don't know if Gilbert Burns can bring that constant pressure style. Of course, he's got big punching, stuff like that, but I don't think he has the cleanest boxing. Although he does have pretty good power himself. Yeah, I think Sean Brady ends up turning this into I think it ends up being like a little bit of a striking fest. I don't think Sean Brady's going to try to go to the ground with Gilbert Burns because, dude, I'm telling you, even Hamzat said it after their fight. Like, as soon as Gilbert went for the armbar, like, he was like, nah, I'm good. I'm just going to continue staying on the feet and striking. And that's Hamzat down at 170. So I don't know if Sean Brady's going to be able to control Gilbert Burns in that sense on the ground. But I do think that Sean Brady is the cleaner, more technical boxer of the two. And I think this ends up being a pretty fun fight. But I think Sean Brady ends up getting the win. I think like a 48-47, 49-46 decision for Sean Brady here.
Yeah. One rebuttal that I would have to the Hamzat thing is I would say Hamzat's more of a wrestler that learned how to use chokes, as where Sean Brady is a jiu-jitsu ace. Like, that's what he's known for. Dude, I saw him one-arm guillotine. Was it Jake Matthews, dude? Like, with one arm. It's like, dude, this dude is fucking legit as shit. So, yeah, I think he's a way better grappler. I think Hamzat much better wrestler of the two. But I see where you're coming from. I do see where you're coming from. Me and D-Rose both on Sean Brady. So for the pick champ of the week, D-Rose, we got Dylan Budka, Andrei Petrovsky, Vanessa Demopoulos, Jacqueline Amarim. We've got Gabriel Santos versus Yi Zha. We've got Felipe Daytona versus Andre Lima. We've got Ryan Spann versus OSP and Trevor Peak versus Ashmos. I don't think Spann versus OSP is an option because I don't think that fight still happened.
Nope.
But
not a chance. I don't care. I don't care if it was happening. It ain't going in my pick, champ.
So the floor is yours to win this shiny gold strap, and for one of us to be eating beans next week on the show, D-Rose. Which three would you like for the pick champ this week?
Sure. Let's go. Man, it's a rough week, man. Just as far as far as
Dude, I
fights
got
that
all
did
the
not feel good
dogs.
about.
I got all the dogs.
Hey, so let's do
I have
this.
one favorite. I have one favorite in Trevor Peak.
Let's
No,
go Petrosky,
I think
Budka.
Yeezaw's the dog too. All right.
Yeah, Yeezaw's a dog. I'm definitely not picking that one though.
Budka Petrovsky is number one.
Let's go. Oh gosh. Let's go Lima versus Dos Santos, number 2.
All right.
And then let's go Trevor Peak. Ashmo's number 3 there.
I'm surprised you didn't go Demopolis Amarim, to be honest, but I'll take it. D-Rose don't want to go against the Stripper in
honestly,
Vegas.
Because Amarim is a finisher, and if she doesn't finish Demopolis early, is Demopolis going to be hanging around
finished.
like that?
She never been finished.
Is Vanessa Demopoulos going to be hanging around like that shitty ass odor in the locker room? Just that linger. Is she just going to linger around enough to tire out Amarim at the end? I don't want that. I don't want my fate on Jacqueline Amarim's shoulders.
All right. So going to be shooting for another clean sweep this week. I got 2 dogs and one favorite. Our pick champ for this week, 3 different fights. Dylan Budka versus Andre Petrovsky. I got Dylan Budka, D-Rose on Andre Petrovsky. Our second different fight is Lipe Daytona or Felipe Dos Santos taking on Andre Lima. I got Lipe Daytona, D-Rose on Andre Lima. And the last one is Peak Nation. Stand up, baby. Trevor Peak versus Yanal Ashmos. I obviously got Trevor Peak. D-Rose got ass moss.
Ain't no
All
asshole.
right, real quick before we get out of here. Podcast play of the week. If they come from me and D-Rose don't bet it, they've been hitting. If D-Rose decides he wants to put his money on it, then it's probably not going to hit. So trying to think of something right here real quick. I was trying to think of something before we did the pick champ, but it's just like me and D-Rose. I was kind of thinking Ziggy Montes Ramasca money line plus 114. Do you plan on betting that, D-Rose, or no? Because you didn't watch the Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah, so there's a very good chance that I'm not looking at playing that. There's a very good chance.
Okay. All right. So podcast play of the week, Ziggy Montes Ramasca money line plus 114 right now on DK. I also don't hate the over 1.5. If you don't like the Ziggy Ramasca's money line, you could try the over 1.5, and I'll actually probably have that as a play later on when I actually get the when the parlay props open up with the Ziggy Ramasca and over 1.5. That's probably what I'll be playing. But official podcast play of the week, Ziggy Ramasca's money line. I'm going to put 10 on it right now. 10 to win 2140. So, going to restart. Even though we cashed a one last week, I put $50 on Tabitha Ricci. I'm not confident enough on a plus 100 to put $50 on it this week. So I was confident Tabitha Ricci got it done, and she did for us. So kind of cleaned up for us. Lost a bunch. I lost like $200 last UFC fight nights. And then on Contender Series, I won it all back last week. Then won some on college football. Then bet on LSU and lost a bunch, and then lost about $75 last night on Contender Series. So I'm like from 2 weeks ago when I very first started, I think I'm down $75 from the 500. I got $425 in my account, or $415 in my account now after I bet the $10 on the Ziggy money line. So not terrible, not terrible. Could be worse.
Dude, you're sitting prettier than me right now. That's for sure.
Yeah. So with that being said, we got Day with the anal ass most. that's D-Rose is riding the pick champ with. He's gonna get that stink bug bean next week, and it's gonna be because Ashmos. Tim is tailing the Ziggy money line. All Are you still doing the VIP DK? I believe so. They haven't reached back out to me yet. But I honestly think they just wanted me to put money in my account because I won $2,000 from them the other weekend. And they're like, maybe if we get him to put money in his account, he'll fucking lose it. Well, I lost a little bit, and then I won it back and did better than break even. So suck it, fucking DraftKings. Yeah, dude. Yeah. So with that being said,
They're trying to get their money back.
Yeah, I ain't got nothing else, D-Rose. You got anything before we get out of here, man?
Nah, man. We are good. Good to be back. And fuck that fish bean, dude. I don't want to eat that shit ever again.
Fish scales, baby. Yeah, you're gonna have to eat all 3 of them next week again when I clean sweep that ass. So with that being said, we appreciate you guys. We appreciate you guys for stopping by here tonight, hanging out with us. My name is Matt. D Rose is on that side of the screen. This has been the Golden Octagon MMA podcast. For those of you that don't know, me and D Rose are here every single UFC Fight Week Wednesday, 8:30, 5 p.m. usually. And then you can catch me Friday live right here for Change to Cheddar at 10 p.m. East Coast time. And then catch us, me and D Rose, back here next week, same time, and we'll recap this weekend's fights and preview UFC Noche. Gonna be fun. That's next week's. But with that being said, anything before we get out of here, D Rose? Or are you good?
No, sir. We all good. Let's try to make some money this weekend because last weekend didn't go so great for me. So let's try to turn it around.
Yeah. All right. With that being said, we appreciate every single one of you for stopping by and hanging out with us here tonight. If y'all haven't already, please hit that thumbs up button for your boys. And y'all be safe out there. I'll catch you guys Friday for Change to Cheddar. Peace.